Hello, everyone. Welcome to this Education USA session on the Education USA Academy. This session is for Education USA advisors and for parents, students, and teachers that might be joining us so we can tell you about the Education USA Academy and the tremendous opportunity that it offers, and also to hear about one particular Education USA Academy. We have Elizabeth from St. Cloud State University who will be talking about her program. So this is a great opportunity to hear about the Academy in general, to hear what it's about, some of the different programs we have. I'll talk briefly about the Academy and show you where you can get more resources. But Elizabeth will talk about her program a little more specifically so you can see the variety. So with that, why don't we go ahead and get started. If at any time you have any problems with audio or video, please let me know in the chat box. And after, we will have some time for question and answer. So if there's any problems in the middle, please shoot me a message and I will try to diagnose them. But with that, let's get started. So Education USA Academy and the changes that we have in 2020. So what is the Academy? Education USA Academy is a short-term program. The program has evolved over the years. It started with some experiment programs in Latin America, and it expanded. We do listen to the voices of our advisors and students, and over the years it's changed. So we had an ESL focus in the beginning and a lot of college prep focus, and then the following years we changed it up so there was also a focus on arts and STEM and everything. So, so right now there's a 2 to 4 week summer program. 11 institutions in the United States are offering an academy. The tuition is there, as you can see, $4,000 to $6,000, and in some of the countries that we have Education USA centers, they offer scholarships, and I know some of the academies, a few of them also offer some marginal scholarships as well. It's an all-English experience, some of them more focused on English as a second language than others. Each Education USA Academy has a special purpose. So there are tons of English programs and tons of study abroad programs in the United States, and summer and winter programs. But what is unique about the Education USA Academy is that it gives students a glimpse of the different types of institutions we have in the United States. So it's not just studying at one school, but students would visit a community college, a large university, private universities. Every Education USA Academy has campus visit components. So one of the students we sent from Korea, for example, visited a community college, visited University of Colorado Boulder, and also visited the medical school and other institutions. The academies will help students in different ways prepare for the college application process if they would like to study in the United States. Some have test prep focuses as well. And it also talks about, it also gives you students a chance to experience American culture and in different ways, because we have different academies in different cities. So we have them in the big cities and some in smaller towns. So sometimes they're going to baseball games, sometimes they're going to amusement parks, and sometimes they're going to museums. So it really is a great way to experience education in the United States. So why did we do the Education USA Academy? Number one, I think we found that students that experience going to the United States early tend to go. And it's also a great chance if students aren't really sure if they want to study abroad, it's a great chance for them to just visit and see what the United States is like. So again, students that we've had go, a lot of them said, well, this is great. You know, it's a great chance. Like, I really do want to study in the United States. So if students are absolutely certain, it's a great chance for them to get some cultural orientation. And if they're just not sure yet, it also is a great chance for them to kind of experience and figure it out. And also, even if they don't want to study in the United States, it is just a lot of fun. It's a good chance for them to get some experience. The academies usually have students from 15 to 17 years old. There can be exceptions, and you have to check with each individual academy. The English speaking level, it varies from academy to academy. Some of them are a little bit more intermediate focused and may have ESL components, and others are meant for more conversationally and or academically fluent students. And again, many of the academies they may have scholarships available, but generally students will have to pay a tuition or check if at their embassy or post to see if a scholarship is offered. So again, if you get questions for an Education USA advisor and you're getting questions about scholarships, and if you don't have them available yet, it's great to take note of those questions, because maybe in the next year that could be part of your strategic plan to add those in as well. And just FYI, advisors, if you want to do an Education USA scholarship, be sure to get in contact with the REAC, and the REAC will put you in touch with our state Department of State program officer in charge of the academy to make sure that we go through the process of distributing those funds. We have a specific way to do that. So make sure to please do look into providing scholarships, because we've had a lot of students from my region and around the world that have gone on these scholarships and had a really great time. So I'm going to go over a little bit about the academies more specifically. So where are they? They're in 11 states. And again, they visit a variety of institutions, community colleges, public research institutions, specialized institutions, perhaps for the arts or medical schools. So they do get to experience a variety of institutions. So students apply directly to their academy of choice. So if you are working with a student, or if you are exploring the academies, you go to the Education USA Academy website, look at the different programs that are available, or parents may contact advisors and ask them for some information that we have. We have summaries of the academies available as well. Students will need to fill out an online application. They should apply directly to the academy, because each academy has a slightly different application because of English levels and because of the focuses. They may need a transcript, they may need a recommendation letter, sometimes an English assessment. I, for example, provided an English assessment for a student who went from South Korea a few years ago. And in some cases, they may require a TOEFL, but that's not the case with every academy. So you do have to check the requirements of each individual institution, but the academy application is generally pretty simple. It's not like a full college application. So the academy schedules vary, and so some updates. The different academies they operate on different schedules, and some of them may be more more convenient for advisors in East Asia and the Pacific, and others may not quite fit with our academic calendars. But there are programs that are just 2 weeks, so you can get a quick taste of the United States and go back home. Over the years, we found that not every student that went really needed English language. So particularly we had advisors from Australia and from some of the countries in my region that said, our students don't need ESL. Is the academy right for them? Well, now we do have academies that don't necessarily focus on English language training, although for students that may need some English, they might have some additional support. But some of them are more focused on the academics or on STEM or projects and that type of thing. Every academy has a focus on college prep and visiting different campuses, so students can get a taste of the experience and also learn what it takes to apply to the United States. So every student that comes back will be much better prepared to study in the United States after going through the Education USA Academy. And then the host institutions they have different focuses now, whereas in the past it was just ESL and college prep. Some are now focused again on arts or STEM. Embry-Riddle, for example, has one focused on aviation careers and that type of thing. I'm going to move to the next slide. So For advisors, if you have students that are interested in the Academy, I encourage you to look at the materials on the Education USA Academy folder that we have on Box. And then also look at the websites. You don't have to go through and study everything, but generally our materials that we have and also the websites will give you a good taste of what the academies are about. And if you get inquiries from parents, we can put you in touch with each Education USA Academy point of contact so they can give you more information. So if you're not sure what the English level, what English level would be appropriate for an academy, let us know and we can put you in touch with the academy representatives. You may get host institutions that are trying to reach your audience. So for example, if an institution wants to recruit students in Japan, for example, they may ask you some questions. So please do respond to the Education USA Academy representatives if they contact your advising center. And also, just as we would help students find the right fit for a US institution to apply to, help them find the right fit for an Education USA Academy. Again, we want to look at things like, does the academic calendar fit our students? And also, is the English level appropriate? And also, where do the students want to be in California? Do they want to be outside of a big city, or do they want to be in the big city? So the same types of things that we would think about for putting a student, helping a student apply and find the right fit, we would do for the academy as well. As you do outreach for the Education USA Academies, and this is for advisors, other than just looking for students that may be sort of right in front of you and easy to find, and at the schools you go to, you might want to make sure that your mission knows, that the embassy knows that the Education USA Academy exists. There might be locally employed staff that want to go to the academy or have a broader network. Make sure that when other public programming is happening, that you're promoting the Academy and Education USA, and also alumni are a fantastic resource for promoting the Education USA Academy. Another place you might look are your colleagues at the American Chamber of Commerce, for example. They may have employees that would be interested. For parents and also for advisors to take note, because sometimes students are young and there are regulations for every country and every airline about minors traveling unaccompanied, you should make sure that the students are aware and parents are aware about travel restrictions that might happen. So if a student has to transfer domestically, for example, they may need someone to, you may need to make special arrangements with the airline to have them accompanied. They may need somebody to meet them at the point of contact. It really depends on the airline. So it may be that the student can travel outside of the country alone or with that airline, but depending on the flight arrangements, you always have to check if there are going to be any issues. And often you won't know unless you ask. So particularly, I recommend if the student has a flight transfer to make sure that there are no regulations about unaccompanied minors that you might need to be aware of. The academies will also provide insurance, and students will reside on campus. So if you're worried about safety, the campuses, just like they would take care of their own students, they will take care of the student safety, and maybe even more so, a little bit more protective of the students because they are minors. And we've talked to Education USA Academy representatives, we've talked to the campuses, I've talked to the students that were with us, and they really did say that they were taken care of. They take care of not only their schedules and making sure that they're not just going out alone and running around the campus, but they also will sometimes have someone on campus to make sure that they're adjusting and that if they are homesick, for example, they have someone to talk to. There are lots of sort of counseling services that they have available as well, because even though these are short-term programs, it is a lot of stress to go abroad. So the campuses do take care of the students. I was very, very satisfied with the Korean student, the experience that the Korean student had. And he said, you know, sometimes he got homesick, or maybe he wasn't getting along with the others, but then they worked together and they became friends, and now they're still communicating on Facebook. So it's a very, very comprehensive program where it's not just care for their health and safety, but also that they feel like they're part of the family. So I'm very happy with some of our academy programs. So I'll go through these really quickly. I won't talk about the specific academies because we want to hear a lot from Elizabeth, but again, we have 11, they're happening in 11 states, and just a brief overview of where they are. We have Boston University, so students can experience being at the large campus. Just had some students of ours from EducationUSA Korea who all met around Boston University recently. Diablo Valley College in California. Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University. This one is interesting in that it focuses on the aviation field, not just flying planes and that type of thing, but the Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University covers everything from air traffic control to aeronautical careers and business and everything. So it's a very interesting, it's a unique campus to go to. We have Northwestern University. So this is often, this may be one of the more academically competitive ones. So it's, as you should always do, make sure that you check the application and eligibility requirements as well. And St. Cloud State University, I won't talk about that because Elizabeth will talk about that extensively. St. John's University in New York. Syracuse University, also in New York. This is the one program that has multiple sessions. So if you are looking for shorter term programs, this is one that you might want to look into. Temple University, and I believe this has a focus on the arts. You check the program for this year, but that was one of the focuses they had previously. And Temple University is in Pennsylvania, in Philadelphia. University of Colorado Boulder. This program, they have one in the summer, and they have also in the past offered one in the winter. University of Tennessee, Knoxville. Wisconsin-Madison. And so for EducationUSA advisors, if you would like to find more information, we have a link for Unbox, and we can send you that link if you don't have it available, but it has everything from flyers to summaries of the schedules. It also has general information and PowerPoint slides, just like the one I'm showing you now. And for parents and students, they can go to EducationUSA, edusaacademy.org. Note the 2 A's in the middle, edusaacademy.org. And they can also talk to you and get some of the forms that we have. And then for advisors, if you need to contact the State Department for information, this is Doug Fisk's address, and I will give that to you later. But I want to pass it over to Elizabeth to talk about the EducationUSA Academy at St. Cloud. And Elizabeth, please just give me a signal when you want me to switch slides.
Well, let me first say hello to everybody. We're so grateful to be able to offer a brief presentation about St. Cloud State University. Just give you what I would like to do, and I just want to provide examples of what Vinny very well described of what academies are. But as he also said, each one has its own personality and features. So do please share all those details with the students, because I believe we have 11 academies, and each one of them offers very special aspects of the American culture, because we are located in so many different places. And also the themes, we're providing an array of themes that I'm sure the students will be most interested. On that, I would like to share with you, I would like you to look at a very short video about our campus and where we are located. Vinny, could you please click so we can start the video? Thank you. So once again, we are located in Minnesota, and as a point of reference, we are 800 kilometers from Chicago, which is 7 hours by car, and we're very close to Canada. And let me give you some information about our university. We have over 12,000 students, 1,300 international students for 90 different countries. We were founded in 1869. So as you can see, we just celebrated an anniversary of 150 years anniversary with so many different activities. So in our first academy, our students had the chance to also join us in some of the celebrations we had in the summer. Overall, we are a comprehensive university. We offer undergraduate programs, over 200 majors, over 60 graduate master programs. We offer an intensive English center. We offer programs online and complete majors semester at St. Cloud State. If the student prefers not to be away from home for more than a year, he can come with us. He can come and visit us for a semester. And we have all kind of summer programs. Education Academy is one of the most important that we are very proud to offer, but we also have other programs for the summer for graduate students, undergraduate students, worker professionals, and then the Education USA Academy I would like to address right now. So this is our second year that we're going to offer Education USA Academy, and so for us, it's once again, it's a pre-college academic enrich program. It's a 3-week summer program, and we emphasize on STEM. So as you can see, I will offer you some details on what it means. We do offer all the characteristics of the other 10 academies, but we separate ourselves because we concentrate in the STEM research for students. Next. And the reason why we concentrate in STEM is because that is a strong majors. We have an excellent facility, and we offer many programs, and we are just cutting edge in projects and research. So, and our professors are well connected with the industry and companies connected to technology, and we work very well with the and public sector. And one aspect of that it makes us sets us apart is that we are very close to the headquarters of 3M, IBM, Mayo Clinic. So we have the ability to interact with companies, and our faculty also interact with that type of companies at that high caliber in the technology field. Next. So who can come? As Vinny already described, we're looking for high school students between 15 and 17. Regret to inform you that 18 years old would not be able to participate in our academy just because they are no longer minors. And we are very mindful and very protective of students or high school students. In our academy, we need to have the students be able to demonstrate intermediate level English skills, meaning they should be able to communicate at a certain level, because we do not provide ESL classes per se. There will be in English classes, but the expectation is that they will be able to communicate in a regular basis and using their language skills, because it will be important for them. And I'll explain to you why is it important to have good English skills. And anybody who is interested in studying in the US. As you can see here in this picture, we have 5 students representing 5 different countries. Saif, he is the young man. He's from Cairo, Egypt. We have another student from Nigeria. We have a student from Russia, from Iceland, and Uzbekistan. So it was a great variety of different personalities and from different parts of the world. Okay, next. So how do we apply? We do have an online application. We do ask for recommendation letters from an English teacher to assess their English skills. Instead of asking for a TOEFL skill, we rely on the good judgment of the English teacher. And we are also, we also ask for a science teacher recommendation. And the reason for that is because we want to make sure that the student that is coming to our academy has a genuine interest in science, because it's going to be intense in that aspect of the program. It will be fun, but it's going to require some really honest interest in science. And we also are offering partial scholarships, and the online application for the scholarship is also in our website. Next. So when are we going to offer the academy? This year is going to go from July the 5th to the 24th. July the 5th will be the arrival date. We will start the academy on July the 6th. On July the 4th, we finish our academy with our closing ceremony. And last year, some students were able to leave on the 24th in the evening. The ones who were heading to Europe were able to do that. Otherwise, the departure day will be on July the 25th. And as you can see, we also have the dates for year 2021. So if the student cannot make it this year, don't fret. We will offer the academy next year, and hopefully you will be able to join us. Next. So our program overview, as I mentioned to you, we have STEM, and every single academy focuses in different aspects. I believe Wisconsin is offering the alternative of ESL classes plus career exploration. For us, we're going to offer a STEM research. Our students are going to take part of current research in different scientific fields. So they're going to be running experiments under the supervision of grad students and a faculty member. We make trips to industry sites. We were able to go to Arctic Cat. This is a company that builds snowmobiles. We were able to go to a teaching hospital, and they had the opportunity to visit and converse with different medical personnel. And along with what they do with the STEM research, once they prepare a research report, we expect the student to present what we in the United States call a poster presentation, which is basically the student will be able to provide basic information about his or her research. Next. In terms of activities, we are going to offer the college preparation, which means they will be able to receive workshops on how to take the ACT, which is a very common test that students usually take in order to enter to college. And I've heard before that, well, if they'll prefer the SAT. What I would like to let the advisors know is that ACT and SAT is basically, they're accepted. Even if some schools do not accept the ACT, there is an equivalent formula. So they don't feel that by not taking the ACT preparation, you won't be able to do well. The idea for this test is to determine certain abilities, and they measure the same abilities. So we also provide college tours, like we went to a technical college, we went to private institutions, we went to institutions that were in an urban area, and we're gonna be doing the same thing this year. On-campus living experience, this is the most important part, and that's the most scary, because some of these students have never left home. They've never been abroad, they've never been away from home, so they're gonna be living in the dorms, and they're gonna be 2 students in a room. And the most important part of, and I think this is another difference from other academies, is that we are running at the same time that we have the academy, we have another program running for domestic students that are also interested in science. But so these 2 groups of students, the academy and our other science group, they are going to live together. They're going to be sharing the room. So the students from academy are going to have the opportunity to actually live with American peer, share meals, socialize. So in all cultural activities and field trips, we go all together to the 2 groups of students, and a lot of strong relationships developed. And along with that, we have the college essay writing, because we want to make sure that the students leave St. Cloud State with a well-written personal statement that they can actually use when they submit an application to any U.S. university. We would love to have them here with us. We would love to have them choose St. Cloud State, but we're cognizant that students fit in different universities, and different universities require a different student. So, but in any way, they will be living with 2 types of products: the statement that I just mentioned, and also a scientific report. The students are gonna learn how to write a research paper, and that will be considered a scientific report. And I just wanna mention something that it was we were very glad to hear. One of our students, Saif, he's in the middle of he's kneeling in the picture. He used the scientific report and he submitted it to Rochester University in New York, and he was admitted. So keep in mind that those extra things, we want to make sure that our academy student differentiates himself or herself from the other student, and we were able to help Saif do that by helping him prepare a scientific report like the other students did, and he was able to use it immediately. Next. So these are the titles of the research topics that the students did, and this is right in the picture. You can see this is the Miss Johnson. She's from Nigeria. She's presenting to other people. The poster presentation is behind her. Mercy Johnson, she was talking about what she did. And the projects were the nanoparticles project, the supernova project, and space debris project. Most interesting information, and they were able to share with the other students and parents. Next. Thank you. So I'm just going to show you, this is a sample of what our program looked, our schedule was last year. I would like you to pay attention to the time. The students are up at 7 a.m. and they don't go to bed until 22 hours, sometimes later. But as you can see, we are cognizant that students, high schoolers are always, they need to stay busy, they need to be engaged. So they take in the morning the language classes and the college seminars. In the afternoons, they work in their STEM projects, they do presentations, they work with their peers. And of course, there is also the element of fun. There are extracurricular activities that we coordinate, so they are always socializing. We did have a social party for all the students. They go to dinner, and then in the evening, it's the first 2 hours is homework, and then there is some time for recreational activities. We could be very well be bowling. We have other activities going on campus, go to the every Wednesday in the summer, we have concerts by the lake. We make sure the students are also participating. So they feel what the American culture is like during those days that they are with us. And then Fridays, we dedicate that day to do the campus visits, and there are always activities that they do. Saturday is more a cultural exploration. As I said, they go with a different group. So we were always going in a group. Our academy students they did join a group of 30 other domestic students. So they have their social group. They went to state parks, they had picnics. We went to the Science Museum, which is a hands-on museum in the capital of Minnesota. And then Sunday, there is also one more day of cultural exploration, but in the afternoon, we bring them all back to do their homework and get ready for the following week. Next. And as Vinny said, all academies are very mindful of making sure that the students are safe. In our case, we have our public safety is open 24 hours a day, all year round. We have uniformed officers responding to emergencies. We work very closely with the St. Cloud Police Department, and everybody that is in contact with the student has a background check. So we want to make sure that they feel at ease. Everywhere they go, we know where they are at all times. We make sure that there's nothing, if you feel uncomfortable with any situation, we have our counselors working with them, talking with them. And these are professionals who have worked with high school students, and some of our counselors have lived abroad, so they can relate if they start getting homesick, which usually happens the second week. But we support them and we help them overcome the feeling lonely sometimes. Next. So what is the cost? The cost is $4,995. But we are offering, as I said before, a partial scholarship. The scholarship that we're offering is of $1,100. Okay, and all we want the student for them to receive the scholarship, they need to submit the application, and I will provide you with the link. So as soon as they do that, we will consider them. But the fees for this program includes all the program fees, the study materials, the cultural trips, the housing and all meals, all transportation, and most important, the health insurance, which is comprehensive. And the only thing that we will go and pick them up at the airport, we'll drop them off. We make sure that they are safely in past security in the airport. We will not leave them alone until we know for certain that they are in good hands in the airport. So we're, as I said, we're very mindful, and we will go the extra mile to make sure that they feel at ease once they're here. The only thing that the fees does not cover is the airfare and the personal expenses. Next. As I mentioned, we do offer a scholarship for $1,100, and we do have a link, and that $1,100 will go towards program expenses. This will not cover the airfare, is just for the program expenses, which if you consider, and I know most of our students will get the scholarship, I'm certain of that, then our academy becomes the most affordable out of the 11 academies. So keep in mind that we don't want to scare anybody with the actual cost of the academy, but I want to make sure that they know, every student knows that the only thing they have to do is apply for the scholarship, and we're certain that they will get it, because we believe that we are going to be getting the best students, like we did last year, just brilliant kids who wanted to do some real work here. Next. And just to leave you with some information, we have social media. We're very active in social media. You can find us in Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and also I will leave my information in WhatsApp. You can connect with me in Telegram, regular email, but I know our youth has other means of connecting with us. So we make ourselves available for any type of questions. And if parents want to meet with us because they want more questions, we'll be more than glad to set up a Zoom meeting or a Skype. Next. So this is the group. We were at the state park. They're safe again, and behind them there's one kid in the nightshirt. He's from Greece, and the other kids are from Minnesota. And all the way in the back there's a counselor. As you can see, we are like hawks, keeping an eye on all the students. We are waiting. We will be accepting applications until May 1st. And also you can see in the slide our application website. Next. And here's my information. You can connect with me via email, or you can, as I said, we have the social media, leave us a message in Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and any medium that you are using overseas. Next, I think we have one last one. Well, with that, I would like, finishing my presentation, I really would like to open it up to questions and answers. And I'll either in the chat, or if you wanna turn on your microphone. Thank you very much. I do appreciate your attention.
Elizabeth, this is Charles. Thank you so much for your presentation. One question that I have is, once you have students that join your academy experience and they return back to their home countries, how are you using their experience as an alumni of academy to maybe inspire other students from that country? We're trying to put together ways that we can best promote Education USA Academy, and we're finding that students that have been on the experience obviously are some of our best tools and resources to be able to use for future promotion. And I'm wondering if you have tapped into that at all.
Oh, yes. Yes, we found that there is the best way to reach that youth. We had, when they were here, we asked them to do videos. So we have videos of them talking about their experience. We have videos of them talking an experience about in English and in their own language. They are connected with us through Instagram, and they're following us. So we use the mediums that they communicate. So, and in our website, if we have testimonials, if you go to our website, there is one section that says testimonials, which are videos. And we're still working on bringing more videos and presentations and comments and things like something like our student Saif when he applied to the Rochester University and he got in, we made sure that we promoted that. So everybody knew that we are for real, that we do things right and that we support our students. So we have worked on, and they're still contacting me. I'm in contact with them. I know on their own way, they're talking to their friends in a more less formal manner. But we found out that social media, using the media that they like to use, Facebook is not does not impact that population, but we found out that TikTok, Instagram are very good sources.
Perfect, thank you. And if there's any opportunity to tag any of our centers, if it's a student from one of those countries, it would be great to maybe cross promote it on our Education USA social media handles as well. So that's an opportunity that maybe you can take advantage of it in addition to what you're already doing. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, as I said, if you want more details of what they did and how they felt about, if you want to check our website for Education USA Academy, you will find the testimonials, you will find the videos.
Any other questions, feel free to type them in, or if you have your microphone available, you feel free to unmute your mic and go ahead and ask.
I think we have a question coming through. However, the audio is coming in very weak. Possibly whoever's speaking can type it into the chat box. I believe Vinny's fielding questions in the chat box.
Yeah, if you can hear me, if you have any questions, feel free to type them or to go ahead and unmute your mic. And also, actually, I have, while we're waiting for other questions, if advisors or parents have any questions, Elizabeth, can you talk about a couple of the other institutions that were part of the campus tours? One or two of the other examples that, I know they're at St. Cloud, but can you talk just about a couple of the other campus visits students did?
Yes, in regard to the college tours, we went to our local technical college, which is very much into the technical professions, and they have they're well known, they're renowned for the quality of their education. We also went to an institution, actually was a 2-for-1, that we have Catholic universities, private universities, and they were able to tour both of the universities. The admissions directors were able to chat with them the same way that our admission director talked to our academy students. They were able to talk to other students from those institutions. And then we finally went to Metropolitan State University, which is is a sister university that serves a different type of student. It serves a more urban student. And so the characteristics of the university is a little bit different, but it offers another option for higher education. And those are the most common models that we have in the United States, really.
Thank you. And see if there are any other questions from Education USA advisors or anyone in the audience. I know we just had someone join us a moment ago. So we have a question here. Thanks for the session. It was great. Does Education USA DC have any plans on how Education USA offices can profile Education USA Academy in competition from private companies that we're dealing with in our region. We need more than just in box. This question is from Education USA in Melbourne, in Australia. So Samantha, we can talk to Doug and see what other plans there might be in the future, but every Education USA Academy has some social media and some really great videos. So I think that's one of the first places to look, see if they have videos with students from the countries, and see if that you can do mentions, for example, in your in your social media. Also, like Elizabeth, or for the Education USA Academies, we can also we've been starting to encourage them to mention when they have our students with them. So, for example, if we had someone from Korea, to do a mention of Education USA Korea on Instagram, for example. But we do, I think one of the main things is visiting. I mean, there's so many programs and so many different types of English and academic programs. So I think like one of the big things to differentiate are some for the academic focus, but definitely visiting the different types of institutions, as Elizabeth just talked about. It's one of the great things about our Education USA Academy.
May I add something else, Vinny, in regard to that? When you're looking at companies in your area, remember that Minnesota is headquarters to many of the companies that you probably have. As I said before, we have 3M, IBM, Mayo Clinic, Boston Consulting. So that perhaps having a connection, a direct connection from our headquarters in Minnesota to the companies overseas, maybe that will be a way to build a relationship, knowing that the students can come here. And as I said, we have relationship with many companies in the technology field. So who knows, it might be possible to connect them here just to create a different type of relationship. It's just a thought.
And Samantha gives a good suggestion. Are you suggesting, if this is not correct, let me know, but maybe interviewing some of the academics and some of the instructors? I've seen a few of those, but I mean, that's also a good suggestion. Okay, great, thank you for that. And I agree, our region is somewhat underrepresented. And I think one of the things that we see in East Asia is that the academic calendar doesn't always fit. So for Education USA advisors, I encourage you to reach out to the Education USA Academies. You go ahead and reach out to them directly and say, your program looks great, but it doesn't fit with our academic calendar. Can you do something about that in the future, or do you have any suggestions? Because we have seen cases where even though the academic calendar doesn't quite fit, for example, I'm going to keep using Korea and Japan as examples, but sometimes the students get special permission to go early. It's not easy, but it is possible. But I do encourage Education USA advisors to reach out and let them know that it doesn't fit the schedule sometimes, because sometimes there's something that they can do about it, especially if it's a year ahead of time. And let's see if do we have any other questions? If not, we should sign off in a moment, but I want to give it another minute to see if anyone has any additional questions. All right, if not, thank you very much, everyone, for joining. We had quite a few people in this session, and apologies for some of the issues with the video, but we are recording this session, and I've got a junior intern here at the office that will work some magic, and it will be as if none of the slides were changing. So we have that video available for you later if you need to reference, particularly the part about St. Cloud. Thank you, Education USA advisors and others in our audience for joining us today. Have a great day, East Asia and the Pacific.
Thank you, everybody. I would like also say that it was wonderful meeting you through this medium, and please keep us in mind. If you have any questions or any interest, please reach out to us, and I will be more than glad to discuss it. Do not, we'll do everything possible to bring your students. We don't want you to live with the idea that the cost of our academy is an unsurmountable obstacle. It's not. We will find a ways. So just connect with us. If you have special students that you have a lot of faith in this student, we will do everything possible within our abilities to bring him or her to St. Cloud State. Thank you again. And for us, for me, I have to say good night.
And I do want to thank you, Elizabeth, for doing this so late at night your time. And I think one of the great takeaways, number one, we've got an Education USA Academy that has a STEM focus and really interesting work. And number two, scholarship is available. And that, and I thank you for saying that if they apply, then they're probably going to get it. It's great for us to know. So again, if you don't apply for money, you're not going to get it. That's one of the Education USA mantras. But thank you so much for giving us more insight into Education USA Academy. And thank you everyone for joining us, and have a great day and have a good evening, Elizabeth.
Thank you.